Okay. Welcome back. So today I'm going to be working on the auth screen for my web app. So I have my Twitter web app that I've been working on, but the auth screen looks a little suspicious. It doesn't really look all that great. It's not very inviting. So we're going to be working on that today, and also making part of the web app itself mobile responsive. So this is the current screen. I'm going to go ahead and log in so we can check out the app itself. Alrighty, let's do a couple quick things before we get rolling. Discord. All right. Link posted real quick. There we go. Okay, that's posted. Get rolling. Okay, so the two things I want to work on today are the auth screen. It's not very inviting. And then I also want to make this more mobile responsive. Right now, if you're on a mobile device, you have your checklist and your backlog of tweets, but it doesn't have the statistics panel in the top right. So this is what I want to add in to the mobile piece of the app. I might want to change up how I do mobile, because right now it looks a little weird. It's just like these blocks. Like, it's functional, but like visually it's not super, I don't know. It could be better. It can be a little bit confusing on mobile exactly, what you're supposed to do. And then if I have time today, I might go into like an onboarding pop-up sort of things. Like the first time you log in ever, it would have little pop-ups that show you what each section is intended to accomplish. This top right section, it's very intuitive. Same thing with this daily checklist. But this tweet backlog, it's kind of difficult to understand what is going on here, as well as what the purpose of archived is. So this was built for myself, but there's some things that need to be fixed up. I also want to see if there's any way that I can speed up how quickly we get information from the APIs. The Twitter APIs are pretty slow, and so unfortunately right now it's pretty slow. But okay. I think I want to start with the auth screen first. I'm gonna go ahead and sign out. That's not good. Okay, so that's the first thing I need to work on, I guess. Sign out is not functioning properly. That would be under widgets, hotbar contents, archived, sign out. So it does sign you out, but afterwards we need to return to the root page. So What's the call for that? I think I want to do just like a navigator push named with just a single backslash. I believe that should return me to the root. Let's spin this up again, log in, and try to sign out and see what happens. Okay, logging in. Okay. Sign out. Works, but I just got an error in the middle. Let's see what that error was about. When it's published, it won't really be a big deal, but the fact that we're getting error is a big deal. Okay. Invalid member on null UID. Okay. Relevant error causing widget was that. So maybe there was like a split second between signing out. I think actually, let's see here. Let's call this inside of our sign out method instead. I can do that actually. I don't know if there's a context method. It's under util, auth service. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do that because there's no context. We're just gonna keep it as is. And I need to add the same line to the explore drawer. So sign out. Yeah. That's good. Okay, so let's go ahead and clean up this page. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open Dribble to get some ideas as to how I want to improve this. Go to Dribble. We will do actually, let's do this. We'll do social login. And we want to do web design. The thing is, it's so simple. Like, the only way I'm going to allow users to sign in is with Twitter. But like, that's the only thing I want to have on this page. So I'm trying to figure out how can I fill that space in a nice looking way. Hey, coding guy. So I've got a Twitter strategy management app that I've been working on. So I'll just sign in really quick here so you can take a look. Although I'm gonna have to restart it. But the idea is that you can plan out your week of tweets. You can see statistics on how your account's doing. Essentially, I'm trying to, it's mainly for myself, but I'm trying to see what I can do with the Twitter APIs. Right now, I'm trying to clean up this auth screen because it looks terrible. But all I have is a single button. Like, I don't need anything else other than this on this screen. And so I'm trying to figure out some creative ways to make better use of the space and make it look more appealing. Because right now it looks pretty bad. But the app itself, once you log in with your Twitter account, you see some statistics in the top right, which will render as soon as the data comes in. Here we go. So it'll show your last 10 tweets, and you can see how they've been performing. I'm going to add more onto this later on. It shows your total tweet count, followers. You have a daily checklist that you can, check off things that you've done each day. And then you've got a backlog of different tweets, and there's different categories that you can add to them. So most people that I know of try to hit different topics each day with their tweets, and they typically plan it out in advance. Some people kind of go on a whim, but others like to plan it out. And so I'm trying to provide a way for you to customize, which sections you want to have, and you can create a backlog of tweets for each section that you can just work on a single Saturday or something, and then you have a full week's worth of planned branded tweets ready to go. And then once you've used them, you can archive them, and then they'll get put into archive of tweets that you've already used. So that's like the general idea, but again, right now, and I've got some errors on that sign out that I'm thinking of looking into first, but I'm trying to fix up this auth page first. So Flutter AWS, I can do that. I use AWS quite a lot at work. I'd done one tutorial, I think. Maybe I've done two. Setting up APIs through serverless with AWS. I think I did it for Dynamo, but realistically, most people use something other than Dynamo, like SQL, just like an RDS database. And so maybe I'll do one utilizing RDS and maybe using Amplify. I know a lot of people have been interested about Flutter with Amplify, and there's a new package for that I haven't tested out, so that'd be interesting to test out. So maybe we'll do that here in a week or so, or a couple weeks. What I'm trying to figure out is what is like a clean way to do this auth page. I'm thinking maybe like previewing a little bit about what's inside the app, because no one in their right mind is going to just say, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go right into this app with my social account, not knowing what's inside. I don't think anyone's gonna do that. And so I probably will want to have some sort of clean setup that previews a little bit about what you're getting by entering. Again, it's mostly for me, so like I don't care too much, but I do want it to look clean and professional because I would like this to be something that can be on my portfolio in the future as something I built that it looks clean and speaks to my web Flutter abilities. Less videos in AWS Flutter community need those videos. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Yeah, I'll have to add that. I think the next video that I was going to do coming out next week is on Flutter with social logins. So I've done a lot of Firebase videos recently. And one of the ones that I've been asked about quite a bit was doing Google, Facebook, Twitter logins. And they're really easy. Like you can see, like I've set it up here, and this is on web, but on mobile, it's even easier. So I'll probably do that. That's what's going to be this week. And then maybe the following week, I'll try to do something with AWS. Thanks. Yeah, that took me a while. I thought it'd be quick to make that video for Free Code Camp. And it actually took me a lot longer than I thought. Even though it's like an hour and a half, I think I had to put on the same shirt on like 3 different days to like finish it out because there was like so much stuff I had to record for that. So that was actually like 3 days worth of recording into one video. But thanks. Yeah. Let's see here. If any of you guys have any web apps that you like that utilize a social login, let me know. I'd like to check them out and see kind of what they did. I'm from Virginia, but I'm now living in North Carolina in the United States. So if you know where DC is, I live probably a 7-8 hour drive south of DC. So yeah. Where are you from? Is it Nikhil? I'm so bad with pronunciation. Yeah, Free Code Camp they want it to be super insightful and educational. And so they ask people who contribute to really pack it in with like content and like different information. It can be overwhelming at times because I feel like some of the people on there, including myself, just like throw too much in. But I really like it because Free Code Camp videos cover a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff. So if you haven't subscribed to their channel, I would definitely do that. They always come out with really cool videos. And it's always like a wide variety of topics too. Like I've seen, just in the past week, I've seen like Docker, Flutter, JavaScript, Python, and like, I think it was data structures or something. Like not necessarily programming language, but just covering like data structures. They cover a lot of really cool stuff. Okay. I think this is like the idea that I want to go for. No, I don't have a Flutter app on Play Store. Oh, very cool. Very cool. What's the name of your app? I don't have a Android device, but I can pull it up on an emulator, I believe, and check it out. Kind of a cool thing about technology nowadays. You don't even have to have a device to access software on it. Let's see here. I think this is like the general idea I want to go for, but I want to give a preview as to what you're about to log into. Okay. This is very basic. That's a little bit more than what I've got right now, but still pretty basic. A lot of these are good, but like I want to find one that's like gives you a sneak peek into what you're about to log into. Like maybe something like this. It kind of gives you like these little sneak peek. I don't know. One second, I'm gonna let my dog in the room. Okay. Let's just kind of get rolling. I don't like this, and so we're just gonna start mixing it up right from the start. I'm thinking making this container go to almost the edges, and then we'll figure out how to use the space inside of it afterwards. So that's my auth page. Close out these ones that aren't being used. Auth. Let's see here. So this is that container. Right now I have like a, oh, or what is that noise? My dog drinking in the background. Okay. I'm gonna extend the width to be screen size dot width divided by 1.2. Okay, and then let's give it a height of something similar. Screen size dot height divided by 1.3. Let's do 1.2. And then where this is being called down here, let's oh wait, no. Let's reduce the padding on both the top and bottom. Okay, and then let's modify this button to be significantly smaller. So that would be this container. So I don't actually give it a width or a height yet. You can easily search my app with package name. What's the name of it? Oh my goodness, I think she just wanted water. I'll let her out. I've got a really stubborn miniature dachshund. Always gets what she wants. Okay. Let's do width. It's going to be screen size dot width divided by 3. And I thought I did. Okay, it's in a row. But I thought that this was also in a row. We have a column, create asset. I'm gonna get rid of this. We have a material button, that's it. and then more padding on the bottom. So I'm gonna get rid of all padding for now. I'm gonna place this inside of a row. Okay, so I'm gonna have, I think I'm just gonna do a row with 2 columns. So you'll have column left, column right. The left side will be informative as to like what you're getting into, and the right side will have the login with a logo and maybe like a little text about privacy policy, that sort of thing. My app name for Indian farmers, really cool. We'll have to copy that and check it out. It's cool. You said you built that using Flutter, right? Okay. That is one thing I don't really like. Oh man. That's one thing I don't really like about VS Code's like default Flutter extensions is that some of the recommended like values don't make sense at all. Like when I want to do main access alignment, it always defaults to main, like the method as the first thing, but like that's not a widely used thing. Like it, oh my goodness, sorry. It's kind of annoying sometimes, like the defaults. I wish they would know, like, no, this is the most commonly used method. Use that instead, but they don't. Okay. Okay, I want to make this. Oh, that's not good. Okay. That's weird. Look at that. Even the text on the right is like shifting to the right. It's like behaving super weird because it's in that material. Okay, let's do this. Let's shorten it a little bit. So instead of divide by 3, let's divide by 4. Oh, that's too much. 3.2. Problem is, I think if I shorten this, it's going to overflow. Yep. So what I need is it to fit on this size. So let's go back to 3, check that out. Still overflowing. I wonder if there's, has anybody ever done like a responsive text sizing? So like based on how big or small your screen size is, you like increase or decrease the text size. I feel like I've seen it done. Flutter dynamic text size based on screen size. Use a fitted box. Wrap your text widget in a fitted box. Auto size text is another one. Oh, that's a package. I don't like using packages unless I have to, and I've had to use a lot of them already. And so I'm worried that performance is really going to suffer if I keep on using more packages. Check it out. Huh. Kind of neat. I feel like there's got to be something like out of the box though. Is it all just... Okay. Let's use this package for now. And then look for better options later on. Spec. Okay. Out of that. And let's see how to utilize it. auto size text, you give it the max lines, and then it should auto format. Okay. So where was I? Right here. So let's copy this, replace this with auto size text, import that, attributes, max lines 1. Okay, try correcting the name of existing method. It's not defined. Import. I just need to restart the app since I made a change to the pub. No sleep last stream, it was 3 AM here. Glad to see the app's coming along nicely. Yeah, I've got real data now, which is nice. I've hooked, it was just like email, password, authentication to start, and there wasn't any like real-time data from Twitter being used. And now we've actually got real data. So kind of cool. Okay. I might need to put this in an expanded widget. So let's do expanded. It's probably going to error because of icon not being expanded. Seriously? Okay. I have a feeling that this isn't going to work out well. Nope. Dog Flutter run by, they will be good. Flutter Mumbai. Wasn't that? I saw something on Twitter about that. Were they having some sort of virtual meetup or something today? I saw something on Twitter. I want to say it was last night I saw something about Flutter Mumbai. Well, I think it's awesome. I want to say about 70% of my audience is from India, even though I'm in the US. Like, India's got it going when it comes to Flutter development. Like, you guys are awesome. Okay, so I have this auto size text, but the problem is it should be auto sizing, and it's not. Like, it should be decrease. Let me look at it one more time. Not that one. That one. Strange. Flutter auto size text. Yeah, we'll go with not working. Let's check out this GitHub issue. Please try wrapping it with a size box. Which they did the same here. Is that like required though? I think that's a little ridiculous that you have to do that in order to use this. Let's try it out though. Size box. Child will be that. And let's give it a width of screen size. Dot width divided by, so we did 3 there. Let's do 4 here. Yeah, like this is, like, no, it's not working. It's supposed to make the text smaller to fit the size of this area. It's not overflowing, or is it? But yeah, that's not related. It is overflowing. It's not showing an error though, but it is overflowing. Consider flex factor. Okay, I'm just gonna go back to not using this package, and I'll figure out a better solution. That's one less package I have to add. So this is gonna be a text. Get rid of that size box. Oh man. Flutter is growing in Brazil. Yes, it is. Sim, cara. I actually lived in Brazil for 2 years. I lived in Recife. I'm assuming you're from Brazil, Leo? I love Brazil. It's the best. Let's remove that unused import now. Okay, that's gonna work. Except on a small device, we're gonna have a different sizing if they're on a small device. Actually, we're gonna have a different widget if they're on a small device because we don't want to do left and right. We want to do top and bottom at that point. The second it becomes there. So this is mobile size. This is regular. That's the moment when it makes the switch. So all I care about is that it all fits nicely on this screen. And then I know for any web version, it'll fit nicely. I'm going to go back through and make it mobile responsive better later on. Florianopolis. Sweet. Very cool. I was in Recife 2014, January 2014 to December 2015. So just shy of 2 years I was there. I was in Recife and then a small city west of Recife called Garanhuns. I was in those 2 cities for a little while. Santa Catarina. I've heard very good things about that area. I want to go back and visit, but given everything that's going on right now, I don't think it would be wise to take a trip down trip anywhere, honestly. So, but I'd love to go back to Brazil and visit some other places. Make a flight booking app with Firestore, just the booking part. Probably. Although I'm trying to think like how, like just using fake data, is like actually hooking up to airlines and booking flights. Or are you saying like you want to see the point, like you can book a flight through like a website, but through your, how do you, functionally, how would it work is what I'm trying to get at. But the UI of it all, yeah, you can definitely do that. And you can make some fake information, some dummy data and store it all with Firestore and do all that. But yeah, explain a little bit more functionally how you kind of are thinking it would work. You probably could. That wouldn't be a big issue. So let's look at the left side. We've got the right side going. It's left, file, material button. Okay, this is the left side here. Just a demonstration. I can probably do that. I won't do that on this stream. This stream I'm going to be focused on this. And actually, let's take a step aside from the auth page real quick. And I want to get the mobile responsive issue resolved because that's more pressing. The way that this looks, whoa, did I put the wrong password in? The way that this page looks isn't all that important. What is important though is that it's mobile. The app itself is mobile responsive, which right now it is, but it's missing like a core piece of information. Okay, what is going on? Why is this not? I'm restarting this thing. There's been some issues with login. I think it's because I've been messing so much with that auth page. Restart it. Oh, you're good, Leo. The island of Florianopolis have 32 beautiful beaches. Yeah, I've heard it's very beautiful. I'm questioning if it's as beautiful as Recife though, because from what I saw, Recife's beaches were awesome. But I've heard amazing things about down there as well. Okay. Sign in. Okay, there we go. So for those just jumping on, what I'd like to do, this aspect of the admin dashboard is missing from mobile. We have our daily checklist, we have our tweet backlog, but this, being able to see your past tweets and how they performed, is missing from mobile. So that's what I want to make mobile responsive. 42 beaches, that's crazy. That's crazy. So you can see right here, it's just not even here. I'd like to make it the top part. And honestly, for mobile, I may even want to just break it out into separate pages, because it's going to end up being a lot of information for just a single page. For now, let's just add it to a single page. This is meant to be more for desktop. It's not really meant to be done on mobile, but I would like people to have the option of accessing everything from a mobile device. Otherwise, people probably won't use it. Most people use just their mobile devices. They don't use computers, so. Just a fake booking app that's functional. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. I'll have to add that to the list. Let me actually write some of these things down. I said with Firestore. And there is some AWS. Yeah, we'll have to work on both of those. Okay, so I'm going to keep it in this mode right here. Yeah, I'm going to keep it in this mode. We're going to go to our home page. Let's scroll to the bottom and let's see what we're working with here. So we have our tweet backlog. So it's this part right here, checklist small. So this is checklist small. I want to add in this information here. So this, what does this pertain to? Follower. Okay, so that's the daily checklist. Then there's a size box, and then they have the container. So this, I want to make its own thing. So this right here, we're going to call final admin panel. And I've been going through and like slowly refactoring things. So like I want to say 4 different pop-up modals that literally covered like 300 lines of code, and I factored them out. Flutterando. I'll have to check that out. I don't think, maybe I've heard of that. I'll have to check that out. Are they one of those channels that it's just like a speed coding, or do they actually do like speaking and tutorials as well? Because I would love to like actually watch some more Portuguese content to brush up on my Portuguese, because it's been probably 4 years since I've spoken it on a regular basis. So like a lot of my accent's kind of gone down the drain. Dude, it would be really helpful. Yeah, no problem, Mohammed. All right. See you, Leo. Okay. So let's see here. As far as sizing goes, I think this is fine. So what I'm actually going to do is copy that. We're going to take this container here. We're going to put an admin panel instead. And we're going to take this. And let's put it above. That way you can call on it. And then with that done, I think we can just come down here and we can just do something like this. We can say admin panel, and we can place another size box above it. Let's kill it and restart it. All right, for those just jumping in, what we're doing is we have our Twitter strategy dashboard that we're working on. So basically users can see data on previous tweets and how they performed. They can set checklists, daily checklists that they want to do. This is something we need to come back to and work on. The really ugly dashboard. But the app itself is looking pretty good. It's really just the auth page now. What we're working on right now is making a specific component of the dashboard mobile responsive. Okay, that's an issue. That is a big issue. Oh, you know what I did? I think I added this to the web version. Yeah, that's what I did. That's why, okay. I'm sitting here thinking like, why is it looking weird? Because I added it to the completely wrong place. Yep. So remove that from there. I wanted it here. This is where I wanted it. There we go. That's better. So yeah, so we have our information relating to our users and their tweets and how they're performing. And then you can see their most recent tweets. So this is my account that we're hooked up to right now. Daily checklist, so you can go through and you can check it off, the things as you do them. And then they reset each day. We can add and we can remove and so on. And then we have a backlog of tweets. So this is another thing we need to touch up on. Currently, you can't modify the names of the sections. That's the very next thing that we need to do, is to change it so the names of the sections can change. And basically, you can like rotate through different. Actually, I think I already did something like that, so I'm gonna archive that. But you can archive them once you've tweeted them, so you can copy them in, and you can tweet them. You can delete them if you no longer want them. But basically the idea is you can take one single day, you can create a large backlog of a variety of different tweets on different topics and so on. And then you never have to worry about thinking up tweets for the rest of the week. And so for someone who's managing a brand or is trying to grow a channel, this can be a useful tool to help you. That's the general idea of what we're doing. Back to what we were just working on. Okay. So this is an issue. So looks like I had made it responsive to the sizing of the screen, which is good for web, not good for mobile. And so what we're going to do is we're actually going to make this a widget. We're probably just going to make this a widget. And it's going to take in some parameters that will tell us like what size of the screen we're dealing with. And so it can render it accordingly. So let's go ahead and find that first of all. That's admin panel. It's right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this entire container. We're going to cut it out. We go to our widgets folder, new file, admin panel. Okay, so widget, admin panel. Actually, for material, that solves most of them. Import app colors, okay. Import cache network, okay. So we need to take in user. Let's see what other information we need to take in. We need to take in a size. So user, size, tweets, user size, tweets, context. So user, size, context, and tweets. So let's swap tweets and context. Save that, import these models. Oh, no. It's user info. Yeah, that's it. Then tweet. And then we're going to replace screen size with media query .of context .size. So anywhere I see screen size, I'm going to replace with that. User.profile image isn't defined for user info. Sure. Oh, it's user data. That's not good. User data. We don't need Firebase Auth. Okay. Okay, yeah, so I was replacing anywhere where I saw screen size. I think there's one more. Yep. Okay. Fine. So the big thing that was holding us up is the width was an issue. Height seemed to be fine, but width was an issue. So 3.5 is what we want if we're dealing with a large screen. If we're dealing with a small screen, we're going to want 1.2. And I'm actually going to want this to be a double. So large screen is 3.5, small is 1.2. Velocity X package. Velocity X. I haven't heard of that one. Oh. Did Pool 1 make this one? Yeah, cool. Very cool. That's pretty cool. Look more into that. Let's see where we reference it. So this is admin panel for large screen. So we first pass in user, size is 3.5, pass in tweets, we pass in context. I just confirm that. User, size, tweets, context, yep. Down here, pass in user, size, tweets, context. Okay. Let's go run this from the start. And as far as auth page goes, for now, where's that left side? For now, I'm going to remove that guy. Responsive web apps. Interesting. I'll have to look into that a little bit. I think as far as this specific project goes, I'm just going to stay with what I've done so far. I created a nice, there's like a nice little package that I'm using to get some dynamic sizing. And so like it can pick up when it's on a mobile or tablet versus web. And so I basically just, based on what I'm doing, I change how it looks. This is good, but this is fine. I was thinking maybe shrinking the tweets in a little bit more for mobile, but it's not bad. Yeah, that's okay. 1 second. You'll have to try Velocity WebX on, or Velocity X on just a new project altogether from the start. This one's gotten pretty far in already, so I don't really plan on changing up some of the core architecture of it at this point. Okay, so let's see here. We are in home. So we want to change the naming of the different sections. So I want to be able to, like right next to this plus button, have like a pencil icon, or maybe even put the pencil icon right on the networking. And then I don't know if I'll do a pop-up or if it'll just change this text widget to a text form field widget, and then you enter the new one. That would look nicer, but that'd be It's a lot. Let's first work on the Firestore methods for updating this. I think that's the first thing we should do. So let's go to that file. Some util, Firestore, strategy sections. Get strategy sections. Okay, so that's like right here. This is where I want to add it. So we'll do future. We don't need any kind of response. We'll say update strategy name. We'll take in an ID as well as the new name. We're going to need to know the user's UID. And let me pull up in Firestore right now. Actually, firebase.google.com. Put up in tweet. Firestore. Okay, so we're going to need to access the user document, strategy, pick out which document we're working with, and then update the value for name. So that's what we want to do. So should be pretty straightforward. So all we're going to do is say Firebase Firestore .instance.collection. Collection's name is users. .doc UID. .collection strategy. .doc. And then that's going to be the ID that's being passed. .update. And we're going to update the value for name to be equal to new name. And as we're using a stream builder for our web app, as soon as we execute that method, it should just immediately update this in real time. So, okay. Yeah. I think that's all we need to do as far as Firestore goes. Pretty simple. Trying to think if there's ever an instance where this could fail. I don't think there is. Yeah, there isn't. We should be fine. Okay, so where's my web app? So I'm trying to think, do we want to add a pencil to the far right next to this plus icon? Or do we want to add it attached right on the edge of the title of the section? I want to say right on the edge might look better. We can just, we'll mess around with it. So let's go to our home page and what am I looking for? I need to go back through and refactor stuff. That'll actually be pretty fun. I enjoy refactoring. It's nice to see your code base go from like 1,000 lines of code down to like 700 because you refactor out some widgets. That's always a really nice feeling. Okay, we have checklist. Oh no, it's not checklist though. We want to do, we have checklist. We have our tweet backlog title. That's profile data that we're working with. The profile data. Okay, so it's gridbox. Gridbox is actually, hold on. Yeah, I need to refactor our gridbox because I use gridbox in the backlog, the archive page as well. Edge of the tile for edit. Yeah, let's try that first. I agree. Okay, so gridbox. Oh yeah, this is like primed and ready to go to factor out. Okay, so gridbox. How can you avoid unnecessary reads when your user is huge? What do you mean by when your user is huge? Like when I have a ton of users? I've already done some, I've thought through my architecture of Firestore already enough to where I think I've got it set up in the most optimal way. You just want to, before you do anything, don't just dive right in and make it up as you go. I've kind of done that, but I went in already with like a base architecture thought out for Firestore, because you do want your app to be able to grow. And when it does grow, you want to make sure there aren't an insane amount of reads and writes going to Firestore. Because although it is free and the free tier is pretty big, you can quickly surpass that if you're not careful with how you set it up. So I think I've set it up as best I can. Most of the data that's being rendered that I'm worried about is coming from the Twitter APIs. So we're running every time the user logs in, we grab 10 tweets, we grab a bunch of information related to that user's profile. And if every single user is doing that, I'm worried that we could quickly pass the free limit for Twitter's APIs. Firestore, I'm not super worried about. I think I've structured it well enough to where we shouldn't run into issues with that. You have 700 users, but you get 60,000 reads. Wow. Yeah, that's quite a bit. If you join the Discord channel, I'd be happy to look at your architecture and see maybe if there's some small improvements that could be made. If there's things in your app that you can store locally, like that you don't want to read. The biggest issue is sometimes what people will do is they'll have a method which gets triggered every single time a simple set state or like a rebuild of the page is called. And so you're performing these large queries over and over and over again, when realistically you only need to do them one time a day. And so like that's what I would first look to is there anything that you're calling unnecessarily too many times, and then think up and devise a way to call it only once a day, or to reduce how many times you make that call. That's like the biggest thing you can do. I'd be happy to take a look as well if you want to get on Discord. There's some other people on the Discord channel as well who may even have a better idea. Yeah, let me get that real quick. This will be the fastest way. Up Discord. Don't think I did. There we go. Okay. Have that link. Okay. Hold on. There we go. That's the link to the Discord. Email API to recent mails. Yeah, it can get pretty crazy. Okay, so let's find, we're in our grid box. Where's our title? We have our stacks, we have our stream builder. I think it's in this container right here. Space between, size box, section titles right here. This is a flexible. This is the text we want to do. So let's replace this with a row. And then icon, ooh, icon button. Icons.pencil. Edit maybe? Yeah, edits the pencil. Okay. We want to have an onPress method. And let's style this so you can have some color. Colors.white. Oh, wrong one. Okay. I'm not a huge fan of that pencil. And now it's pushing it over more. Why? It should be centered. Like the flex hasn't changed. There's no reason for it to push it so far over. How big is that? Let's see how big that button is. Nope. Okay. Okay, and I'm just responding to you on Discord right now. Okay, we'll kind of bounce back and forth between this and that. Wondering if we just up the flex on the other, if maybe that will put it back to the, so it is, but now we're getting overflow issue. What? Not right. So that's weird. So the way I've got it set up is I have 3 sections. I have a flexible widget on the left set to 5, the main section, which is set to 20 now, and then the right section set to 5. And yet it's not spacing it evenly still, which is interesting. How does it look if I start to shrink it? Yeah, we're getting overflow issues here too. So I need to either reduce the size of the text or we need to have some overflow handling, which I don't really like to do for titles. Okay. Okay, let's just leave it as is for now. Use this guy back to 5. Man, that's not what I want. Let's what if we did main axis alignment with a end? That change things? Honestly, that puts it pretty close to the middle. We'll come back and touch that up later. That's just some styling stuff. This is gonna need to be a pop-up. I think that's what I want to do, is just another pop-up. And just a quick edit of the name, send it. I also want to look at what other pencil edit icons there are. So let's go ahead and check out the Flutter app icons. So Flutter icons. And then let's look for edit. I saw like 5 different kinds, but unfortunately, like VS Code will show you. Oh no, that's not what I want. That's gonna take a while. This might take longer. VS Code won't really show you the icons until after you like wait a second, which can be kind of annoying. Okay, so we have edit. Oh wow, there's a lot. So edit, yep, that's what we're using right now. Edit location, edit off, edit outline. I like that one. Yeah, let's do edit outline. So it's edit underscore outline. Is that what it was? Yeah, edit underscore outline. Edit underscore outlined. Better. That'll do. That'll do. Let's take a look at our pop-ups, our widgets. At least I thought it was. Oh, it's dialogues. That's what I called it. The flash. Which one is this? I want to just like mimic it after an existing one. Add to checklist. This will probably be the most similar. Yeah, this is the one I want to do it. Yep. We'll mimic it after this, but we're going to change it to change title, section title. We are going to do add item to checklist. No. Just remove that for now. Max lines is going to be 1. Enter new strategy name. This is going to be change strategy name. Double size because we'll give it a different width depending on if we're dealing with mobile or if we're dealing with web. Yeah, this will be strategy controller. And then where was that? Right here. We want to say await change strategy name. Nope, nope, nope. That's not it. It's called update strategy name. Wait, update strategy name. Two arguments. We pass the ID and the controller. So ID will need to get passed into this as well. So we're going to pass string ID and a text editing controller and the size. This is for change strategy name. So we need to create a strategy controller. Although, yeah, that's fine. Okay. Let me go check on Discord. Oh wow, yeah, you've got some rapid growth. Really cool. Any way to rotate this? What kind of data are you using? Images, Discord also 8. I don't have architecture. Okay. What I mean by the architecture is like a screenshot of Firestore, like showing me how the nesting looks. So like you have this collection that stores these users that have this information with these collections. That's what I'm curious about. Because based on how you sort this, it can clean up or it can improve or hurt even more the reads and writes. Okay, let's take a look. So this is where I want to call that method change strategy name. So change strategy name takes in an ID. So the ID is equal to not section titles, but sections at section. That's ID. This will be strategy controller. I think we take in a size before that. Size is the first thing we take in. Okay. Size we'll do 1.2. No, not 1.2. We want to do a 3.5. And then we want to pass context last. And we need to create a strategy controller. Text editing controller. Sweet. Okay. I have no idea where I called that. That was, let me see where I called that from. Okay. So we need to do the same thing. We have this icon button. We want to add this to the small as well. So this was for grid box, but we have a small grid box as well, which is going to be shown on mobile devices. So if we find where our title is, yeah, right here, text. Okay, take that. We'll put it in a row widget. And it would appear I have too many of those. those. Icon button on pressed, yes. Icon. So this should match just fine. Then we have text. Did I miss something from text? Oh, I think I missed it. Yeah, I was at closing. Parentheses. I'll take Nikhil, I'll take a look later today and I'll look through it some more and see if there's some obvious changes that can be made to improve it. That's awesome that you have so many users though. That's pretty cool. If one section for agriculture news, because of news I get many reads. Okay. Have you looked into finding an API that handles the news for you? I'm sure there's some API. I don't know. Maybe you're compiling a bunch of different APIs and like a bunch of different feeds into one place, but what I found is when possible, like outsource data as much as you can. Managing data is like, it can be a nightmare. If you have a team of people working on a product, it can be great. It save a lot of money, be really clean. But when it's just you working on a project, I always try and utilize outside APIs as much as possible. You don't have any good, yeah, that's the other issue. Yeah, that's tricky. I don't know a ton on like solid API architecture to like reduce the cost of reads. Because I can imagine that being a big issue. Do most of your users mainly use your app for the newsfeed? Also, have you tried to monetize your app in any way? Because reads may not be an issue if you could find a way to monetize it, like maybe put like a banner ad sort of thing on those news articles. If you could find a way to monetize it, then who cares how much it costs you in terms of reads and writes? Any improvement you make will just be more money to your pocket. Okay, let's give this a run and see if it works. Okay. Taking a while to start up. And once this is working, we're going to come back to this homepage and we are going to make it look significantly better. And move to AWS. Yeah. You could. I'm not sure if the costs would differ at all or how that would look. You can always switch your backends up. I would do some digging into how much pricing is for AWS and what options you have. You could create a server on like an S3 bucket that you use. You could utilize like Dynamo or RDS database. There's like a lot of different options, but again, I would look at the pricing and see how much it would cost you for the type of traffic that you're getting and see if you're actually saving any money. Because if you look at it, you may find out that it costs you roughly the same thing, in which case it wouldn't really be worth it, right? Okay, so this is an issue. That is tiny. Hold on, let me take a look at mobile. Oh my, did I mix these up? Yeah, that's not right. Okay. Hold up. Something's wrong here. Let's go back to our dialog. Change strategy name, we take in a size, so I took in 3.5. I made the width, it should have been 3.5 times the size of the screen. Okay. Where in the other case, it was 1. Hold on, let's see where we call this and what values I'm passing first of all. 3.5, okay? And the other one was also 3.5. It shouldn't have been. It should have been 1.2. Assuming this is for small. Yeah. Okay, let's just take a quick look and see if that fixes the issue on mobile and if it's simply a matter of what size I'm passing. That looks fine. I mean, it's kind of ugly. Styling needs to be significantly better on this. Okay, let's do this. Let's instead of 3.5, let's do 2.5. So that looks. Yeah, looks fine. Let's give it some more height though. And I think height, we can just make it like a constant value. I don't think we care. You know, what is the size of the screen we're working with? Is height not a value? I just have to make, I'll just have to make the contents, I guess, more horizontal, symmetric, plus edge insets dot only top 50. Ouch. 30. Top, no, bottom 10. Better. Okay, I just want it functional for now. Test strategy name. Huh. Would have expected it to update. Let's look at Firebase and see if it updated. And if simply it's just not reloading that properly. Here's strategy. Okay, it updated just fine in the database. So it's just a matter of it not reloading this properly. I could have sworn this was inside of a stream builder though. Oh, maybe it's not. You know what? I don't think it is. I think this was taken when we entered. Okay, yeah. I think all I need to do here, dialog.dismiss sets. I don't think I can call it from there. So where's the homepage where I call it? Can I not do like a dot then? Oh man. Yeah, so I think it just needs to update, like refresh the state of the page, and then it'll get the new value. All right, I will take a look at what you sent me, and when you wake up tomorrow, hopefully you'll have some thoughts into maybe some ways you can improve that. Thanks for joining. Okay. So let's see here. We update strategy name. We dismiss the dialog. So it should come back to here, but we need to Do I want to change this to a method? That way I can do like a dot then. Like change this from just like a simple widget to like a future method that I can wait on. Strategy name. Okay. What's like the default dot then? Is it just this? What is that? Let's do some Googling. It's been a while since I've done this. Using dot then. Flutter dot then. Oh, let me make this smaller. Okay. Dot then on value. Okay. Dot then. I'm gonna put a print statement in here as well to see when this gets hit. Let's keep an eye on this. And we need to, I'm gonna just do this really quick. Overflow. Text overflow dot ellipses. There we go. Okay, so enter new strategy name, test. Yeah, so it got hit. It didn't wait to get any response back. It just went ahead and executed this immediately. Not what I wanted. Okay. Let's try something different. I don't believe I can call set state from here. Maybe I can. I don't think I can though. Set state. Is that how it looks? I don't think this is correct. Yeah, can't do that. But if I were to bring this whole widget back into that file, I think I could call set state then. This is why I really need to just take a step back and set up a better state management system. I was using set state just because I was trying to crank out an MVP, but it has gotten to the point where it's starting to get pretty complex, and I'm starting to consider wanting to set up something like block or something better, because there's a lot of stuff. React Native versus Flutter. Hey, Evan. Are you asking like which is better or which I prefer? Or are you asking like what are the differences between the two and pros and cons and that sort of thing? Are you kidding me? Can I not do this? I want to update the state after. I could do a simple stream builder in place of what I've got currently, and then just. I don't want it. That just seems unnecessary though. That's just unnecessary read and writes. Let's leave it as is for now. It functions, but you have to reload the page. That's just ugly. I'm gonna change it back to what it was for now. Setup stays properly. Okay. Also, I don't know what happened, but we got some serious spacing going on between these things. So let's find where that pencil was. So let's edit outlined. Oh, it's because I used an expanded widget. Yeah, that's why. Use that. Outline. Text overflow dot ellipses. Place that inside an expanded widget. Okay. That's for mobile. Okay, so that's working fine. Okay. For the sake of sanity and just mixing things up a little bit, I think I'm gonna go back to that auth page and let's see if we can prove that. I need to log that error somewhere so I remember to come back to it. When I log out, there's a brief moment between sign out and popping back to the initial state where, although I'll just, okay, actually I know what to do there. There's a brief moment where I get an error because UID is not found on the stream builder. And so it shows that red screen for like a split second. On the build version, you don't see it because Flutter in production never will show you the red screen. It always shows you like a gray screen. So it's not very noticeable. You hardly notice it at all. But it is an issue. And I think I know how to fix it. I'm just going to do that really quickly. Top bar content, sign out. If I swap these, if I pop first and navigate back to that root and then sign out, then I shouldn't have an issue. Don't need that for now. Don't need that for now. Don't need that for now. All we want to do is focus on the auth page. So this is the page we want to focus on. In the future, I think Flutter is going to dominate. As far as trends go right now, Flutter has been gaining on React Native for the past 2 years. React Native has been on top for like 3 years running in terms of cross-platform development. Keep in mind that cross-platform development with like Flutter, React Native, Xamarin, however you pronounce it, it's a relatively new thing, one. And two, it only makes up like, I think it's like 13 to 20% of the actual market share of mobile app development. But that being said, in terms of cross-platform development, Flutter is right now about on even terms in terms of popularity. But I'm guessing the way things have been going, Flutter should be past React Native in terms of popularity next year. As of right now, it has more likes or stars on GitHub, which is a good indicator that it's growing at a healthy rate. And overall, performance is slightly better. Development seems to be better and easier to work with. The big argument that React Native has had for a little while is that, well, React Native is JavaScript based, therefore we can use all these NPM packages. Flutter doesn't have a lot of that. But the Flutter community has grown so much that there's so many packages available now that that argument doesn't really have any meaning anymore, because Flutter can do most of what React Native can do as well. There's very few things that you're unable to do. Even as right now, like they're coming out with like some new ARKit stuff for cross-platform development in Flutter, which is pretty cool. Web development's in beta, but it's getting better. This project has been my way of testing it out and getting to know a little bit more about web for Flutter. I typically do mobile development, that's what I'm most comfortable with, but I wanted to try out web and see how I liked it. So that's why we're doing this right now. Let's see here. But yeah, those are just some of my general thoughts on where it stands and the future of cross-platform development. So this page, originally it was just this tiny little box in the middle with the login button, but it's really bland. A new user that comes to the site is not going to want to enter the site because they don't actually know what they're signing up for. And so what I'd like to do is make this a page where I can have the button maybe like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I originally had a thought of like splitting into two sides. One side being like the app logo and then the login button, the other side being informative. I'm thinking though that maybe I'll make like the whole upper section like an informative, like this is what you're getting into, or maybe like a preview of what's inside, that sort of thing, and then the login button at the bottom. I need to spice it up to make you want to click on it. That's what I'm trying to do here. So let's kind of get rolling with that. So I originally, let's see here, we have auth, profile data, sign in, yeah. This is our button. We have it in a column right now. Here's a row. Anyways, honestly, this is probably a good place to stop for now. I'll probably do a little bit tinkering. I'm thinking I need to mock up some designs before I do anything more with this. Kind of just moving things around, fiddling with it isn't going to accomplish much. So I'd rather take a step back, design it out, and come at it with a plan either later tonight or another day. So I think that's what I'm probably going to do. I need to test that one bug that I was just having, but yeah, no problem, Evan. And if anyone's interested, I'm always available on Discord. We have a simple Bleyl Dev Discord channel, and so there's a link further up in the comments. You'll see I commented there's a link to Discord, so you can follow that link and join the Discord channel and chat with other people who are doing Flutter development or ask any other questions you might have. I'm trying to stream more often. I just started this past week, and so I'm going to try to stream probably 2 nights a week, and then potentially on Saturday mornings like I did today. Right now it's like noon, 12:38, where I'm at in North Carolina. So if you have any questions, feel free to chat in the Discord channel, and stay tuned for some, I'm going to do Flutterfire social authentication video this coming Wednesday. So that'll be on the YouTube channel as well.